You know that feeling when your card declines and you pretend the machine is broken. Like maybe if you insert it again, the universe will magically reload your bank account. And the worst part is not even the embarrassment, it's the panic, because deep down, you already know the truth. You are one emergency away from being completely screwed. One flat tire, one doctor visit, one we need to talk text from your boss, one random Tuesday. That's all it takes. And if you're watching this right now thinking, yeah, that's basically my life, then this video is for you. Because today, we're going to build an emergency fund in 60 days. Even if you feel broke, even if you're living paycheck to paycheck, even if right now saving money sounds almost impossible. Because here's what nobody tells you. You do not build an emergency fund after your life becomes stable. You build it so your life can finally become stable. My name is Jack, and I spend way too much time studying how normal people escape financial stress without becoming finance robots. So if you want practical money advice that actually works in real life, hit subscribe and let's get into it. Now before we talk about saving money, we need to talk about something more important, your brain. Because most people think they're bad at saving, but usually, they're not bad at saving. They're exhausted. When you're constantly worried about bills, your brain shifts into survival mode, and survival mode only cares about today. Not next month, not retirement, not emergencies, today. Which is why you keep saying things like, I'll start saving when I make more money. And sometimes that's true, if you're choosing between rent and food. There's no magical budgeting hack that fixes that. But for most people, the problem isn't only income, it's financial leakage. Tiny money decisions made under stress, the random DoorDash order because you're tired, the impulse Amazon purchase because you had a bad day, the little I deserve this spending that slowly destroys your future. And look, I'm not judging you, because stressed people do not make long-term decisions. They make relief decisions. That's human. But this is exactly why emergency funds matter so much. Because when you have zero margin, every problem becomes a crisis. A small repair turns into credit card debt. Credit card debt turns into anxiety. Anxiety turns into more bad decisions. And suddenly life feels impossible. So our goal over the next 60 days is simple. We are going to create breathing room. Not perfection, not wealth, breathing room. And here's the crazy part. You do not need $10,000 saved to feel safer. Even a few $100s changes your psychology completely. Because the moment you stop feeling fragile, you stop panicking. And when you stop panicking, you make better decisions. That's why our first target is $500 to $1,000. That's it. Not because that solves everything, but because it breaks the cycle. And if we break the cycle, everything changes. So let's do the math. If your goal is $600 in 60 days, that's $10 per day. Now before you click off thinking, I don't even have $10, listen carefully. We are not saving $10 a day through suffering. We're building a system that finds $10 a day automatically. Big difference. Because motivation is unreliable, systems are reliable. And this entire plan is built around four things: reduce leaks, increase friction, create tiny wins, and automate everything possible. That's the game. So step 1 starts today. Separate your emergency fund from your spending money. Seriously, if your savings account is connected directly to your checking account, your brain treats it like available money, which means it's not an emergency fund. It's a snack fund. Open a separate savings account, or use a second banking app, or even a different wallet. Just make it harder to touch, and rename it something emotionally powerful. Not savings. Call it, do not touch. Life buffer. Peace of mind. Something that reminds you why it exists. Because environment matters more than willpower. Always. Now automate the smallest amount possible. And I mean small. If you can only afford $3 a day, start there. If you can do $20 a week, do that. The amount matters less than consistency. Because once saving becomes automatic, your identity changes. You stop being someone who tries to save. You become someone who saves. That shift matters more than people realize. Now let's get your first fast win. Because your brain needs proof quickly. Momentum creates motivation. So this week, your only mission is finding the first $100. And honestly, this is easier than most people think. First, cancel one subscription you forgot about. Everybody has one. Streaming service, random app, gym membership, some trial that quietly became permanent. Cancel it. Second, use the 48-hour rule. For the next 60 days, every non-essential purchase waits 48 hours. Not forever, just 48 hours. That pause alone kills most impulse spending, because impulse is the real enemy. Not coffee, not fun. Impulse. Third, sell one thing this weekend. One thing. Old electronics. Choose a monitor, a keyboard, something sitting in your room collecting dust. People love saying, selling stuff doesn't count. Yes, it does. Money is money, and right now, we are building stability, not ego. Now here's where things get interesting. Most people think they have a budgeting problem, but usually, they have a leak problem. Leaks are dangerous because they feel harmless. $10 here, 15 there, 20 somewhere else. But small leaks sink ships. So over the next 2 weeks, audit your spending using 3 categories: must, maybe, mess. Must is survival, rent, utilities, basic groceries, transportation. Maybe is stuff you enjoy but could temporarily reduce. Mess is pure impulse. What was I thinking? Spending. Your emergency fund will come mostly from maybe and mess, not from starving yourself. And let's talk food for a second, because food is where exhausted people lose control financially. Not because they're lazy, because decision fatigue is real. So for the next 60 days, simplify meals aggressively. Take 5 or 6 cheap default meals and repeat them. Rice bowls, pasta, eggs, oatmeal, chicken, and frozen vegetables. Simple, predictable, low stress, because every decision you remove saves mental energy, and mental energy matters when you're trying to change behavior. Also, keep one planned tree every week. This matters, because if you remove all enjoyment from your life, you will rebound hard and overspend later. Restriction creates rebellion. Always. Now eventually, cutting expenses hits a limit, which means we need to increase income too, but not with some fake start $1 million business advice. We're talking realistic short-term moves. Extra shifts, overtime, weekend gigs, delivery driving, helping someone move, freelance work, anything that creates quick cash flow. Even an extra $150 a weekend changes momentum dramatically. And momentum is everything. Now here's the part nobody talks about. Saving money is hard, but not spending saved money is harder. Because emotional spending never disappears completely. So you need rules. Rule number 1. Define what counts as an emergency. Real emergencies threaten health, housing, transportation, or income. A sale is not an emergency. Boredom is not an emergency. A rough day is not an emergency. Rule number 2. If you use the fund, refill it immediately. Always rebuild first, because emergency funds die slowly when people stop replenishing them. Now let me tell you about someone I'll call Marcus. Marcus lived